Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. We are doing the chapter public facilities, and in this, we are seeing what are the alternatives we have in order to tackle the problem of shortage in water supply, as we have seen the case in Chennai. And in this regard, we will see that many times it is said that it should be given to the private companies, then the problem will be solved. But that is not a solution because if the private companies are given uh, this function of supply of water to the public, then the price of the water will increase and people will not be uh, able to afford the water. So it's not a good idea, because in almost all the countries, this function rests with the government only. There are some cases like in Bolivia, it was this effort was made by the government that the water supply will be given to. It was actually given to a private company, but it could not be successful. And then we see that there are many government who have achieved universal access to water. So it's not something that cannot be achieved by the government. The government departments can also achieve this. And then we see that there are many options in front of the government, like we can say the in Mumbai, what the government does, that the government raises money through water charges. And through this money which is raised by the water charges, the government department is very much efficient in covering its expenses on supplying water. So the quality improves because it has money. It can spend money on providing the service to the people in a proper way. So with earning, we find that the service, the quality of the service improves. So likewise, in Hyderabad also, we have a recent report, that the water department has increased coverage and improved performance in revenue collection. When revenue will be there, then that revenue, that income will be spent on making the service efficient, in expanding the service, so people will get good service. So these are the alternatives. In one more alternative is there. We have like example, Chennai. In Chennai, we see that the water department has taken several initiative because it wanted to harvest rainwater. And by rainwater harvesting, the aim was to increase the level of government, level of that groundwater. Okay, so uh, other than this, the Chennai government, other than doing this rainwater harvesting, the government also uses the service of private companies for transporting and distributing water. The private companies are there which are involved in transporting and distributing of water, but the it is the government water supply department which decide the rate for water tanker. Rate will be decided by the government department. Huh. Private companies, they are responsible there for transporting and distributing, but they are not the decision maker. Okay, okay. So in this way, we can say that when the private companies are engaged in transporting and distributing water, we call them that they are on contract. The municipality uh, go for a contract for a particular period of time, in which they were given this right to they were given this function to transport and distribute water. Okay, now we have another example of sanitation facilities. In our country, the facility of sanitation is not available to all, and we can say that the condition of sanitation is even worse than the condition of safe drinking water. We can say, like we have some figures. You can see these are the figures. Official figures shows that 68% of the household in India have access to drinking water, but about 36% have access to sanitation. तो अगर 100 लोग रह रहे हैं किसी एक जगह पे, तो उसमें से 63%, 68% को वाटर मिल गया है, दे हैव एक्सेस टू ड्रिंकिंग वाटर 68% को, लेकिन उसमें से सिर्फ 36% के पास टॉयलेट है ना। तो इसका मतलब कि इंडिया में सैनिटेशन की कंडीशन बहुत ही खराब है। अब इसके लिए एक बहुत ही एफर्ट हुआ, ऑनेस्ट एफर्ट हुआ बाय सुलभ नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, है ना। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सुलभ क्या है? इट्स अ नॉन गवर्नमेंटल organization which has been working for the last 30 to 35 years, and its main aim is to uh, address the problem of sanitation which is faced by low caste and low income people in India. Okay, so this is very important. What is its objective? The objective is address to address the problems of sanitation being sanitation facing low caste, lower income people in India. Okay, and then we see that it has constructed 7,500 public toilet blocks, है ना। पब्लिक टॉयलेट ब्लॉक्स जो है वो 7,500 उन्होंने बनाया, एंड 1.2 मिलियन प्राइवेट टॉयलेट्स का भी कंस्ट्रक्शन किया है। 7,500 पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स ब्लॉक और 1.2 मिलियन प्राइवेट टॉयलेट्स सुलभ ने बनवाया है ना। एंड गिविंग एक्सेस, एंड इन दिस वे इट इज प्रोवाइडिंग एक्सेस टू सैनिटेशन टू 10 million people. So we see that hmm, the people who use Sulabh facilities are from the poor working class, and then we see that this Sulabh, it has also had contract with municipalities or other local authorities to construct toilet blocks with government fund, है ना। अभी जो हमने देखा उसमें एनजीओ जो है सुलभ इंटरनेशनल, वो अपने ही फंड का यूज़ कर रही है, बट इट कैन ऑल्सो डू दैट, it can also go in such contract in which the municipality or other localities uh, uh, give them the municipalities और अदर लोकेलिटी लोकल अथॉरिटीज़ के साथ इनका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है, और जिसके अकॉर्डिंगली गवर्नमेंट के फंड को यूज़ करके ये टॉयलेट ब्लॉक्स बनाते हैं। ठीक है। सो लोकल अथॉरिटी होती है वो इसको लैंड प्रोवाइड करती है एंड फंड प्रोवाइड करती है फॉर सेटिंग अप सर्विसेज, जबकि जो मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट है आर समटाइम्स फाइनेंस थ्रू यूज़र चार्जेस। जो यूज़ करते हैं टॉयलेट को यूज़ कर रहे हैं उनको कुछ चार्ज देना पड़ता है, 1 रुपी या 2 रुपीज़। तो उसी पैसे से इनका पूरा का पूरा जो ये है वो मेंटेन होता है। ठीक है। And now we are in the concluding part of the chapter. We are going to finish the chapter. पब्लिक फैसिलिटी जो है वो हमारी बेसिक नीड्स है, और हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है वो हमें राइट टू लाइफ देता है। राइट टू लाइफ के अंदर सारे राइट्स आते हैं, राइट टू वाटर, राइट टू हेल्थ, राइट टू एजुकेशन, है ना। तो ये जितने भी पब्लिक फैसिलिटीज़ है वो सभी हमारे बेसिक नीड्स से जुड़े हुए हैं। और uh, one of the major role of the government is to ensure adequate public facility for everyone, and it is the duty of the government that everyone must get public facility. But what we find in our country, the progress is not satisfactory. There is shortage in supply. Not only this, there is inequality in distribution. And if we compare the metros and large cities, towns and villages are अंडर प्रोवाइडेड, है ना। अगर मेट्रो और लार्ज सिटीज़ को हम देखें, कंपेयर करते हैं, तो उनकी तुलना में जो टाउन्स हैं और जो विलेजेस हैं वो उनको नहीं मिल पाता है ना। मेट्रो और लार्ज सिटीज़ को दे दिया जाता है, टाउन और विलेज को नहीं दिया जाता है। इसी तरह से अगर एक टाउन के अंदर एक सिटी के अंदर देखें तो जो वेल्दी लोकेलिटीज़ हैं उनको अवेलेबल होता है, उनको उतनी परेशानी नहीं होती जितनी पुअर लोकेलिटीज़ में होती है ना। तो इस तरह की प्रॉब्लम है, और इसीलिए इस बात की को कहा जाता है कि द प्राइवेट कंपनीज मस्ट should be given this facility, है ना। But we find that this is not a solution, and every citizen of the country has a right to get these facilities which should be provided to him or her in a equitable manner. है ना? आपने ये नहीं कि कितने भी प्राइस में उसको दीजिए तो आप कहेंगे मेरा मैंने तो बेचा, नहीं, इट शुड बी at a affordable price, then only it will be correct to say. So now we will be doing some extra questions from this chapter, and first of all we have one of the most important question. The question is what do you mean by public facilities? So your answer will be the essential facilities, which are needed to be which are needed to be provided for everyone which are needed to be provided for everyone are called basic facilities. For example, water, healthcare, sanitation, electricity, public transport, schools, colleges, etc. Okay, example आपको जरूर देना होगा इस तरह के questions में. Okay, and now we will see the next question. The question is why the government why only the government why should why should only the government must bear why should only the government bear the responsibility response the responsibility of providing public facilities? Why should only the government bear the responsibility of providing public facilities? So what is your answer? You will write that the government should bear the responsibility of providing public facilities because of following reason. The first is the private companies are interested only in profit making. The private companies are interested only in profit making. Second point you will give that private companies may provide public facilities, but it will provide at a price that only some people can afford. But it can provide at a price that only some people can afford. And this facility will not be available to all at an affordable rate. So these are the two reasons why the government should bear the responsibility of providing basic facilities, public facilities. Okay, and now we have the third question. We have next question. Where does the government Where does the government get money for public facilities? Get money for public Where does the government get money for public facilities? So, what will be your answer? The government get money for public facilities from the taxes collected from the people. Okay, from the taxes collected from the people. Okay, and now next question. How can the problem of how can the problem of shortage how can the problem of shortage in water supply be solved be solved? What are the alternatives? What are the alternatives? So your answer will be the problem of shortage in water supply can be solved by following measures. The first is you will give your answer. The first point. First point, the water supply department of the government may raise money through water charges so that it can cover its expenses on supplying water, like the water supply department of Maharashtra government, like the water supply department of Maharashtra government. Then your second point will be the water department can also department can also increase coverage and improve performance in revenue collection, just like the water department in Hyderabad. And now the third point is the water department can also take initiatives for rainwater harvesting so that the level of groundwater can be increased. It can also use the service of private companies for transporting and distributing water, but the government water supply department decide the rate for water tankers and give them permission to operate, just like done by the water department in Chennai. So these are the 3 points which are the suitable alternative present in front of us. तो आपको बस ये तीनों पॉइंट्स देने हैं. Okay, and now we have the next question. So we have the next question. What is Sulabh, or what do you mean by Sulabh? Yeah, what do you mean by Sulabh, or what is Sulabh? So, your answer is Sulabh is a non-government organization which has been working for the last 3 decades, uh, no, which has been working for the last 3 decades to solve the problem of sanitation, which is faced by the low caste and low income people in India. Okay, so this is all for today, and in the next class we will do the next chapter of civics.